Help me hit 7,000 subscribers. Support the video with a like and share your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. Thank you. I didn't expect betrayal to arrive wrapped in a speech about happiness. I thought if it ever came, it would be loud. An argument, a confession, something dramatic enough to prepare me. Instead, it came quietly, disguised as honesty. I deserve to be happy, even if it means hurting you. Those were Evelyn's words. Calm, practiced, like she'd rehearsed them long before she said them to me. My name is Marcus. I'm 38. For 12 years, I believed I was married to my best friend. We didn't have a perfect marriage, but we had routines, shared jokes, inside memories. We had history. I thought that counted for something. I worked long hours, came home tired, but never disconnected. I asked about her day. I listened. I showed up. Or at least I thought I did. Evelyn used to say she loved how steady I was. You make life feel safe, she told me once years ago. At the time, it sounded like a compliment. Later, I realized it was a warning I didn't understand yet. About 2 years before everything fell apart, she started changing in small ways. Nothing obvious enough to accuse, just enough to confuse. She guarded her phone. She stayed over at her sister's place more often, claiming they were reconnecting. Her sister, Lauren, had always been close to her. I trusted that bond. Family felt like the last place betrayal could hide. At first, I blamed myself. I thought maybe I'd become boring. Maybe safety wasn't exciting anymore. So I tried harder. Planned weekends, booked dinners, suggested therapy. She smiled, thanked me, and said I was overthinking things. That phrase became her shield. Every concern I raised bounced off it. One night, after a long silence at dinner, she finally said she felt unfulfilled, not unloved, not mistreated, just unfulfilled. I asked what she needed. She shrugged and said, I don't know. Space, maybe. I didn't fight it. I told her to take the time she needed. That's what supportive husbands do, right? If you've ever trusted someone completely, you know how dangerous that kind of faith can be. If the story already feels familiar, take a moment to like and share it, because stories like this reach the people who need them most when they're shared by others. What I didn't know was that her sister's house wasn't just a place to clear her head. It was a hiding place, a cover, a safe zone for lies. For nearly a year, Evelyn used Lauren's spare bedroom as a love nest with a man whose name I didn't even know at the time. While I was paying bills, planning a future, and defending my wife to anyone who questioned her distance, she was building a second life. One I wasn't invited into. And Lauren? She didn't just know. She helped. She covered schedules. She lied to my face at family dinners. She hugged me while knowing exactly where her sister had been the night before. That's the part people don't talk about enough. The betrayal doesn't stop at the affair. It multiplies through the people who enable it. I found out by accident. No dramatic confrontation. No confession fueled by guilt. Just a receipt. A hotel booking forwarded to the wrong email. Her name. The dates. The location. 5 minutes from her sister's place. When I asked her about it, she didn't cry. She didn't deny it. She sighed, like she was tired of pretending. She said it had just happened. That it was a harmless mistake that got out of hand. She said she hadn't meant to hurt me. Then she said the line that finally broke whatever was left of me. Marcus, I can't keep living for other people. I deserve to be happy. I remember sitting there, thinking about all the times I chose responsibility over impulse. All the times I said no to easy happiness because I believed in commitment. In us. If you've ever been told your pain was the price of someone else's happiness, comment clarity below. Sometimes naming the moment helps you process it. What hurt more than the affair was how justified she felt. Like my devastation was an unfortunate side effect of her self-discovery. She talked about growth, about finding herself, about mistakes being human. Her sister backed her up, called it messy, but understandable. They spoke in soft language to make something cruel sound reasonable. That night, I didn't raise my voice. I didn't beg. I just asked one question. If you knew this would destroy me, why didn't you leave first? Evelyn looked at me for a long time before saying, "Because I wasn't sure what I wanted yet." That answer told me everything. I didn't sleep that night. I sat alone in the living room, realizing that loyalty means nothing when it's one-sided. That love, without respect, turns into self-betrayal. Before you continue, I'm curious. Do you think betrayal hurts more when it comes from strangers or from family who help hide it? Share your thoughts in the comments. By morning, I understood something I wish I'd learned earlier. People don't accidentally betray you for a year. They make daily choices to do it. And every person who helps them lie becomes part of the damage. That was the beginning of the end. Not because she cheated, but because she never thought she owed me the truth until it was convenient for her. The weeks after the truth came out moved slowly, like time itself was offended by what had happened. Evelyn stayed at her sister's place, the same house where the lies had been carefully stored for a year. I stayed in the home we built together, surrounded by furniture that suddenly felt borrowed. Every object had a memory attached to it, and each memory felt like evidence from a life that no longer existed. She texted once or twice, not to apologize but to explain. Explanation was her way of easing her conscience. She said she never meant for it to go that far, that she felt seen for the first time in years, that the man she was seeing made her feel alive. I read those messages with a strange calm. There was no rage left, just a quiet understanding that whatever I thought we had, she had already buried. Lauren called too. She wanted to clear the air. She said she didn't mean to be in the middle, that she was only trying to support her sister. I asked her one question. If you were supporting her, why did it require lying to me? She didn't have an answer. Silence is very revealing when people run out of justifications. What shocked me most wasn't the cheating. It was how easily they reframed it. How betrayal became a mistake, and loyalty became something optional. In their version of events, my pain was collateral damage, unfortunate but necessary. That's when I realized something important. When people justify hurting you, they've already decided you're expendable. I filed for separation a month later, not as revenge, not as a statement, just as a boundary. Evelyn seemed surprised by how quickly I moved forward. She said she thought we'd take time to figure things out. I didn't argue. I just told her I'd already spent a year being kept in the dark while she figured things out. I wasn't willing to donate any more time to that process. There's a moment after betrayal where you're tempted to compete, to prove you're better, to show them what they lost. I felt that pull too, but I resisted it. Because chasing validation from someone who betrayed you is just another form of surrender. Instead, I focused on rebuilding something quieter, my self-respect. I stopped explaining myself to people who had already chosen sides. I stopped defending the marriage to those who thought infidelity was a gray area. I learned that you don't need a crowd to justify walking away from disrespect. You just need clarity. Evelyn eventually admitted the affair had ended. She said the relationship wasn't what she thought it would be. There was a pause in her voice, like she expected sympathy. I didn't offer any. The consequences of her choices weren't mine to soften. Happiness built on deception rarely survives the truth. What stayed with me wasn't anger, but a deep exhaustion. The kind that comes from loving someone longer than they deserved. It took time to forgive myself for ignoring the signs, for confusing consistency with security, for believing that loyalty alone could hold a marriage together. Love needs honesty to survive. Without it, all you're doing is maintaining a structure that's already hollow. I don't hate Evelyn. I don't hate her sister either. Hate requires energy, and I'd already wasted enough. What I feel instead is distance. Emotional, deliberate distance. The kind that protects you from reopening wounds that finally started to close. There's a strange peace that comes after betrayal, once you stop asking why. Once you accept that some people don't leave because they're unhappy, they leave because they're unwilling to be accountable. And sometimes the people closest to them help because it's easier than telling the truth. If you're listening to this and wondering whether walking away makes you the villain, it doesn't. Staying silent while someone dismantles your dignity is not love. It's self-abandonment. Choosing yourself after betrayal isn't cruelty. It's survival. I used to think 12 years meant failure when it ended like this. Now I see it differently. Those years taught me who I am when things fall apart. They taught me that being faithful in a world that excuses betrayal is not weakness. It's character. And character matters even when no one rewards it. Today, my life is quieter. No secrets. No double stories. Just honesty, even when it's uncomfortable. I don't know what Evelyn tells herself now. I don't need to. Closure doesn't always come from answers. Sometimes it comes from finally asking the right question. What do I deserve? And then acting like the answer matters. If this story resonated with you, take a moment to like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe. Because these conversations matter, and you're not the only one who's lived them. What would you have done differently if you were in my place?